We're good.
Just tell us a recap over the incident. Just a recap. Maybe start with the name.
Yeah, my name is Professor Walter Mwanda. The departed Professor George Omore Magoha was my great friend, mentor, colleague in all aspects. At around 3 o'clock today, I got a phone call from the wife that she needed me urgently. I was in a clinic at the Kenyatta National Hospital. I was seeing a patient, and I called a colleague to take over. I rushed to my car, and as I was driving away from Kenyatta about 4 kilometers, she called again and asked me whether I had a blood pressure machine. I told her I would get one. I rushed back to my clinic, got a blood pressure machine. As I was about 4 kilometers to the home, she SMS and asked me whether I could get an ambulance. And I was too close to home, their home. There was a traffic jam. They drove right to the home. At the gate, I met some attendants who rushed me in. I met the son at the door who rushed me straight to where he was. He was seated actually. He greeted me and said, "Oh, you have come." Then I said to take the blood pressure. It was not recording. At that time, he slipped off from his sitting position, and we carried him to the car. He went into a car, and the wife and my driver, we followed. They were ahead of us about 200 meters. They reached about 10 minutes earlier than us. From the information, he had what we call a collapse. He was resuscitated back by the son, who is a medical doctor. And then 100 meters to the casualty of the Nairobi hospital, he collapsed again, was rushed to casualty. There was resuscitation, which took quite a bit of time, but they were not able to revive him. That was a short message. What I know is that I must say he was waiting for me, because he had told me some things about his life and his final days. And that has been fulfilled, and I shall continue doing so.
Maybe how would you eulogize? A lot of Kenyans are sending tributes, including Don's former VCs. They're eulogizing the late professor as a hero in this nation.
In all aspects, he was second to none in whatever duty and responsibility he undertook. He did his work diligently. He dedicated himself. He gave himself to whatever responsibility he was given. And as I said, we are pure mentoring, and people tend to think we do things the same way, although I'm not a public figure. But in private, we were the same in many ways, in many decisions. He never took a second position in anything. He would take a first position in whatever way. And there was no opposite of the right, the correct, the ideal. As a human being, of course, he had his other side. But that is interpretative. The only thing I can say, he was second to none in whatever responsibility he took and he was given. He was very respectful to the authorities.
Maybe
I remember his great days at the Senate of the University of Nairobi. He had such gifts, understanding of literally every situation, control of every situation. And I don't remember any single day that he never gave the correct position. And anybody defying that would finally realize that that was the correct position. There was something you asked me?
yes, yes.
Yes, please.
Have you been able to establish his days? How was today, his routine of the day? And I missed it because of the passing day. Because in total, how many times did he collapse? First of all, how was his day like? And then the number of times he collapsed, including now the final one for casualty.
I think four times. He had a premonition and told his wife, I suppose, but he will get it from her, that his time had come and he was happy, everything was done. He then asked the wife to call the son and also the daughter-in-law. The rest you will get from the wife. And then at that time, he also said he wanted to see me. And the wife did the same. Called the son, called the daughter-in-law, and called me in that series.
He was at home entirely the whole day?
He was at home. You may know that he was making arrangements for the burial of his brother, whose body I think must have arrived today also from US. So over the last 6 weeks we have been communicating, but he's been extremely busy. I must say for the first time he didn't reply to my call on Saturday. But then later on I called him using another number and we discussed the way forward with regards to arrangement of his brother's death.
Did he have a history of any medical condition?
Well, at his age, yes, most certainly. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right, and that is Professor Walter